This episode is brought to you by the future. Oatly had experts look into the future, which is totally possible, by the way, and then report back about what things will taste like when we get there. Learn about bold ideas, the dawn of decaf, and the rise of fiber in the Future of Taste report on Oatly.com. Welcome back to the Coffee Show, everyone. I am your host, Kirk Pearson, and I'm joined today by none other than Nic Petrie from Born and Raised Coffee. Welcome to the Coffee Show.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
It is. You and I have plenty of great banter about all things pre-batched espresso, all things co-fermentations, all things UFC over the years. So it's good to finally have you on. I want to start off by introducing our sponsor. I'm going to do this with a little bit of gusto, okay?
Go on.
Sponsor, Apex Lab. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
sir.
Yeah. Best in the game. Best in the game for treating your water. If you're not using Apex Lab at home for your home espresso use, home filter use, you're bonkers. One of the easiest things to use. Do you ever use it?
Always. Conflux is my go-to at home.
Conflux?
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy, this ad read, because I think the 4 or 5 podcasts I've had with guests since Apex has come on, I say, do you use Apex? And everyone's like, yeah. So easy one to sell. There's a bunch of different profiles on there now. There's so many good resources on how to use it. It's just enhancing your water to enhance your coffee. Water is the essence of life, and it's the essence of coffee too. So use the code KIRK2026 and you get 10% off. Can you believe that?
I will use that.
You should. You should. So use it now, apexlab.com. And if you don't buy it, you're bonkers. So back to the show. Nic.
What's up?
You are probably, I would say I'm chief agitator number 1 when it comes to pre-batched espresso.
Yep.
I think that's fair to say these days. Not really like a...
You're the Capitano.
Well, it's not really like a esteemed title. But you are definitely chief agitator number 2.
Oh, thank you.
And you've been posting some content of recent about pre-batched espresso that you're doing here and there, helping you with events. So congratulations on all your on all the fury you're causing. What's it been like for you?
Mate, life has been peaceful in real life, chaotic on the internet. Rage baiting is second nature now with pre-batching. But it's been fun. First video about it hit 1 million views, which was like, what the heck? This is possible. But also like, this is such a big topic. Why is everyone so interested? Then I had to do an event the other day by myself, and there were expected to be 100 people. And I was like, how do I be present amongst the event and showcasing coffee without being stuck behind a machine and be like detached from the actual event because I'm just slinging away coffees? So I was like, you know what? Pre-batch, let's do it. And that's exactly what happened. I presented a pre-batch coffee, tasted delicious, and I was still engaged with everyone who attended. So,
and I feel like that's like one of the main draw cards as well, right? Like you can actually do so much with it, and it expands your capabilities, I would say. And so like there's so many different reasons for it, and I'm sure why it's positive for coffee shops, and I'm sure we'll get into most of them during the show here. But again, like what you said, I think people have attached this moniker to me where it's like, this is you, this is all you ever do, this is all you'll ever be. And it's like, well, hang on. This is just a supplementary part of the business. If like 90% of your sales are milk coffee, which is like,
exactly.
And we like to those that haven't been to Australia, like we've got a different market. Like most people demand lattes and flat whites. And so if that's most of your business, why would you not try and economize it better?
That's right. People read too much in between the lines. Like, obviously, like in the video that I posted, I was making it as milk coffee, and that was the intention of pre-batching espresso. But everyone's like, espresso should be fresh, hot. I'm not drinking pre-batch. I'm not drinking cold espresso. I'm like, that's not what I'm making it for. I'm making it with milk-based coffee. Yes, everyone's like, oh, I would do this with iced latte, not hot lattes. But these people have never tried it hot. And then I've done it with my housemate. I've made him pre-batch, and that's all he talks about. He's a tech bro. He has no clue about coffee, but every second day he's like, you pre-batching today, bro? So it's like becoming, I think, more talk of the town, but people are starting to appreciate it if you have actually tried it. So yeah.
I've got a term for it. PBDS. pre-batch derangement syndrome. Just people can't
PBDS.
PBDS. So
Your next merch.
yeah, well, we should get some coffee show merch going. But you know, like that's the thing. I think that's like the big caveat, or not caveat, but like the big discovery in all this for a lot of people. Like as soon as they actually do try it, it's like, well, hang on a sec. And again, and people, regular listeners to this show would know, the biggest difference you can sort of differentiate in it, if there's like any at all, is the first sip is kind of the same as the last sip. It's
That's right.
the same all the way through because there's not crema. And so obviously with the crema, the first sip is more intense, and then, you know, like the rest of it's smooth and homogeneous after that. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, I think for me, like even the other day when I was testing it out, I was like, why is the pre-batch tasting sweeter, smoother, and more consistent? Where the fresh sort, we're not trying to say which one's better than the other. We're just saying like, there's not much of a difference. And I think it depends what your end goal is. My one was actually just to do events and smash it and do it well. So that kind of solved that problem for me, and it didn't compromise quality. So for me, in my personal of tasting experience between pre-batch and not, pre-batch, like the other, actually one of the best pre-batch I had, shout out Officer Coffee. I was there just sitting down, talking away with Perga. And then Fabian comes, just gives me a flat white. Thanks, Fabian. Starts drinking it, and it was delicious, as always. Officer, one of the goats. Then Fabian goes like, oh, do you know what that was? And I was like, I know it was the house blend, but I was like, oh, it's just, you know, just the resident blend by us, by Born and Raised. And he's like, yeah, but it's pre-batch. And I was like, I would have not known, and it tasted delicious. So that's my experience.
Are they implementing it in regular service, or?
I don't know. I don't know if it was out of curiosity or just for iced lattes or not, but they showed, they made one on me.
You know what the strange thing about pre-batching is?
What?
So many more people have been doing it in the last few years and not disclosing it.
That's right.
Then they publicly, disclose.
Yeah.
It's not like we're the first people to do it. Like there's plenty of people that actually have been doing it, but doing it on the sly. And all power to them. There's some interesting discoveries to be made around it for sure for the next few years, and I look forward to doing that. But I think, would you agree with this, Nick? I think a lot more people are doing it than they say they do.
Yeah, I think pre-batch, I think it's one of those things where people have done it by accident or laziness. Like they were in a rush, they had a spare shot. So then they're like, oh, let's just, and the shot's been sitting there, I don't know, for 10 to 15, maybe an hour, and use it. And they just done it because they had to get the coffees out because there was a rush. So technically that is pre-batching because it's been sitting around in what they say 2-minute dead shot, you know? So, and there's more cafes than you know. And I just know in the world of Melbourne that I remember coming here 5 years ago. I went to a coffee shop really renowned in Melbourne, and they were squeezing it out of a bottle for iced lattes. And I'm like, I think you've just claimed it as like, not your own, but like you just put your name to it. So everyone's
publicly, leaned into it. I guess you'd say. And I think the way I rationalized it was, this is something that I knew it would get a lot of people raising with eyebrows raised, right?
Yeah.
And it would get a lot of people offside. But my counter to that was, well, if we have these screens like we do at our shop with the taps, that display what the flavors are, and like it's not just that we're doing one blend. Today, like if you go to Project Zero Flinders Street tomorrow, there's 4 different blends you can have as a milk drink. So, and that's again playing into what our market is.
Yep.
But also what the modern consumer kind of wants, and this will in relation to Co-Ferment. So let's work that into the conversation.
Let's go.
So like, I had a business called Sub-Zero Coffee before. Right? It was a very painful financial lesson to learn, which is, what do people actually want?
Yep.
Here I was thinking, oh, people want to drink Panama Geisha and Geisha Village and Takesi every day. They don't.
Yeah.
They actually some people want the simplicity. Those coffees are also, prohibitively expensive to have daily. So, and that was, a really tough lesson to learn. And so I guess now what I wanted to sort of lean into, and I guess you do as well now, is having like that 90-point experience without the 90-point price tag,
Yeah.
just being able to blow people's minds with the strawberry flavor, the bubblegum flavor, the melon flavor, whatever.
Yep.
And that's how we're doing it. So like, and bringing it back into the sort of pre-batch discussion, you're getting 4 different options in a market that this is what they want.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we've integrated co-fermentation in our menu. We dabbled in it end of last year and it performed pretty well, but we were just more like very conservative. We're like, oh, well, let's just try a little bit and see how it goes. And then beginning of this year, it actually birthed out of my time. I was in Colombia last year in October. I stayed on El Vergel estate, which is one of our partner farms that we work since pretty much the beginning of our roasting journey. We were cupping on the farm and we cup every day blind. And one cupping table, they put all co-fermentation that they've ever experimented and done. Yes, some were pretty hectic. Like one of them tasted like Parmesan cheese. No, it wasn't fermented Parmesan cheese. It just...
You sure?
I don't know. They love cheese over there. They put cheese in chocolate. They put cheese in coffee.
They have it for breakfast.
I have it for everything. But I was like, maybe they like cheese co-fermentation. But yeah, that really opened my eyes to what flavor profile was able to be unlocked within coffee with co-fermentation. And it's still the misconception of co-fermentation. And I actually was on the phone to the producer, Shadi Beta, this morning, talking all about co-fermentation. The misconception with it is that, we have a very bad harvest or bad coffee. Let's co-ferment it so that we can sell it. This is not true for the farms that we work with in El Vergel. They still put the same effort in green coffee and co-fermenting it because they're adding value into the coffee and what it can taste like. And because of the value's gone up, they can sell it for more, which creates more wealth distribution amongst the farmers and the country of Colombia. And he said to me, you cannot count with your hands anymore how many farmers are co-fermenting.
Right.
So,
well, yeah, I guess this is probably the one drawback of it as well, right?
Yep.
Like, are we encouraging people, like the whole industry, to do it because there's a financial gain and then we don't have, quote unquote, conventionally processed coffees?
Yeah.
Is that the risk of encouraging co-fermentation? And I say that as someone who probably sells the most of it in Australia.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting thing to look at because although this is good for a lot of consumers, like what kind of industry are we creating? Like, and like I'm self-reflecting here and asking myself that question as someone that leans into it, because I don't want to see a world where it's only co-fermentation.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see a world where it's only pre-batch as well.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Like it's an element of the coffee business. It shouldn't be all of it. Would you agree with that? Is that kind of your thoughts as well?
Yeah, I think it's like co-fermentation allows people who don't drink coffee or like they're still new to coffee and they feel very left out because they can't taste certain profiles, or they like say, oh, coffee's bitter and that's all I can taste, no matter what origin or whatever they get served in. It provides, it's an open door, invites them in, makes them feel welcome. And one of the reasons we introduced co-fermentation in our coffee program, one, we started using dessert language, so it became approachable to everyone. And then it also allowed people who like, oh, I've never been able to taste peach in coffee. We give them a peach co-ferment and they're like, finally, like I feel cool. I can taste peach. And I think it's just, and also the other thing is that in Australia, contextually, is that 90% of people drink, 90 or 95% drink milk coffee, right? But we always treat the black coffee drinkers special, which is the minority, with like, oh, you have the single origin options, you have the batch brew options, but the pretty much most of your market, they don't have the option. It's just a house blend. So that's kind of why we introduced co-ferment as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And heading back into that discussion about not wanting everyone to co-ferment, like as in producers, like there's a risk for them as well if too many people get into it. It's like you devalue the market for it. Like if everyone gets into it and there's not as many customers to actually buy it, because it's, in relative terms, the percentage of people in the world that drink co-ferment coffee is probably like less than 1% of all coffee produced. Or definitely would be. So keeping that in mind, but again, you know, like it's if it happens too much,
Yep.
then there'll be a correction.
Yeah. And that's just natural, right? That's how I guess the world economy works, right? Supply, demand, and stuff like that, and correction. But also another thing why co-fermentation is, I think, important is an example was when I was in Colombia, I went to this milling station and I saw pallets and pallets of co-fermentation, and it was going to Saudi Arabia. So I asked the producer, I was like, hey, Shadi, why is everything going to Saudi Arabia? Why is co-fermentation going to Saudi Arabia? He says, like, one, it's a tea drinking culture. So to I guess, convert people to coffee, they have to be given an experience that's, whoa, what the heck?
They love their sweets in the Middle East.
And then that was point two. They love the sweet. Everything had to be sweet. And the beauty of co-fermentation is that you can have a little naughty sweet treat without all the extra calories. Yeah. So
that is an interesting point to it as well, right? Like that's one of why do we not sell that message about coffee more? Like it is healthy. You know, there's so many studies that I see it on on Instagram, so I can't really verify if it's true. But like you see all this like news of
what's your source? TikTok, bro.
Yeah, well, the breaking news. There's a new study revealing that drinking more coffee is great for preventing dementia and shit like that. Like it happens all the time. But coffee is like low calorie. Like it's if you're having a filter coffee, like that's a great way to get energy and
caffeine max
and not put on weight.
That's right. Yeah.
And then, decaf's getting better and better now. So if you want to sip on it throughout the day, sure.
Yeah. And they've dabbled into co-fermentate decaf. I've had a few samples the last couple months. So that's a really cool world.
I've had some samples of them as well that taste like chicken soup. So
I agree. One of them tastes like beef jerky. Yeah.
Well, I've had some that taste like the Maggi chicken noodles. It's a bit rough, but of course, one of the drawbacks to drinking excessive amounts of coffee is damaging or staining your teeth. My significant other, Videhi, my partner, is a dentist, and she's always advising me, you got to take care of your teeth. So,
I've opposite to that. I went to the dentist for the first time in 7 years. Crazy.
How'd you go?
Mate, she was like, wow. Your teeth is really good. What toothpaste do you use, and what is your
7 years? Do you not build up like calculus?
I don't know. This is this going to break the internet or something? Like,
come on.
It's like, I don't know. I brush my teeth. Like, it's one of those things that I do religiously. I can't go a day without brushing my teeth at least twice. I do flossing, and I'm
you're a flosser?
I'm a flosser.
See,
yeah.
I need to get better at flossing.
And also, like, I don't know if it's a toothpaste I use or not, but my friends call me a little bit crunchy. I use like the one that's like no fluoride, natural toothpaste. Maybe that is
okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, fluoride dentists would advocate for, but no, good for you. No cavities.
No, apparently not.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I'm a calculus build up guy. I build up. So I'm at the dentist getting it clean every 6 months.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah, I'm not too. Necessity.
Necessity, yeah.
But the next visit I get will be visiting my girlfriend in Canada and getting a free one for once in my life.
Come on,
yeah. Woo!
Maybe I should go to the dentist more often, eh?
Yeah, just day one.
Yeah,
it'll
good
work.
life hack.
It is. It's a fantastic life hack. But that's actually a good point. But she's big into the co-ferments as well.
Oh, yeah.
My girlfriend who didn't drink coffee before she met me. She's like, how I was able to lure her in was with the co-ferment.
Oh, was she a customer?
No, not at the time. Like one of our first dates we went on, I made her come to like 3 coffee shops, and she's like, can you handle all that? And you know what the problem with me is? Like, this is what it's like for a professional barista, with coffee now. From the moment I wake up to the moment I have coffee, I'm in pain. And like I don't actually make coffee at home. I wait till I get to the shop. Yeah. So I'm usually, from the moment I wake up to the moment I'm at the shop, it's usually an hour. But like, it's a tough hour.
Yeah.
Like, and I do this thing I call getting jacked up. So like I'll have, obviously I've always got like a war chest of really good coffees and really good samples, and I just pump through them. And like this morning I went way too far. I probably won't sleep
and too quickly.
I had like 6 coffees before 7 a.m.
Come on, that's the way to do it. You know, ultimate barista breakfast.
Coffee maxing.
Yeah, that's the
Coffee maxing. What's your like?
I'm quite the same. I thought that I'm only like that at work. I thought I'd be the one that's like, if I go in, I'll dial in, I'll have, the battery single origin espresso and at least an house blend and maybe our co-ferment blend 4. And I thought that's minimum 4, and then I'll have something else, make a pour over, go on. I average 7 cups of coffee a day. And I was like, cool, that's just what I'm doing at work. I go home on my days off, I somehow fall in the same trap.
Yeah.
I make a pour over. I'm like, I'll make another one and I'll try it with the Conflux Apex water. I've got a Breville Bambino.
It's a trap.
I was like, let's make espresso. Let's make a super long soup shot. And then you make a milky and you're like, 5 coffees deep, only 1 hour since I've woken up. So
it happens.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us. I was just thinking about while you were saying that, like, it's not so much that I get super caffeinated. It's now just like a headache prevention method. Like, because if ever I've got like an insidious headache, there was 1 week recently, because I'm a notoriously early riser.
Yeah.
I'm always up between like 3 and 4 a.m. Even on my days off. Like I just naturally wake up like that. And I always have since I was a child. Like I've just always been an early riser. And there was 1 week recently, it was after MICE, and I just worked an ungodly amount of hours that week.
26 in one day?
Well, I worked a 26-hour shift one day because I was, screw it, I'll tell the story. So I had some suppliers that I was waiting on, and we were rolling out our new packaging, and it wasn't arriving. So I had to drive across different suburbs of Melbourne to get it, and it was late. And I just said to myself, I'm going to get this new packaging rolled out tomorrow because the day before Melbourne International Coffee Expo starts, extra people in town. I want to have it all done, looking good. Anyway, so I ended up going and getting all those things, and it took me to 7 p.m. and I had to pack coffee, and I thought, I can have this done in 3 hours. No, I was there till 8 a.m. the next morning and had to just keep working. But the surprising thing about that is, like, when you're actually determined to do something, like, you don't even notice it. Like, because what happened was I got to 4 a.m. and I'm like, shit, I've been here for like a lot longer than I thought I would be. Somehow I'd like not realized I'd listened to like 4 NFL podcasts, and I think there was a Joe Rogan one in there as well.
Yeah.
And just powered through, like didn't even notice. But maybe I was so tired that I was so delirious that I couldn't actually notice.
You've just hit beyond consciousness and just hit your flow state.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. I forgot what I was talking about before I went on that tangent.
We were talking about Co-Ferment. We were talking about
now what point?
How many coffees we have in the morning.
Oh, yes. Well, I didn't actually have any coffees that evening, to be fair, the one that got me through. But anyway, MICE is always the biggest week of the year. I said on the podcast last week with Ryan Casely that I really want the competitions to come back to MICE.
Yeah.
I just think it's a terrible shame that it's not together anymore. And that is the Melbourne International Coffee Expo for those listening abroad. For some reason, the Australian scene, we don't do it there. And I think it's kind of hurt the expo and our value having like a really good, credible expo.
Yeah.
It's not something that people want to travel to internationally for anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mate, that's a hot take too early.
But yeah, like, I mean, I think like to restore its like, international reputation.
Yeah. So do you think World of Coffee should come to Australia?
We don't need that.
Yeah.
Because like, would they? I mean, unless like you host the, World Brewers Cup or World Brewers Championship. But MICE itself hosted the World Brewers Cup and the World Barista Championship just a few years ago.
That was my first MICE experience.
And it was crazy.
It was the craziest experience.
And we obviously we're not going to have that every year.
Yeah.
But like, bring back the comps.
Yes, sir. Are you competing this year?
I am. Okay.
Wow.
I'm getting back into barista.
Wow. Cool.
Are you?
Yeah. Brewers.
How you feeling?
Excited. I think I'm seeing competitions this year as not only a learning curve, but also let's bring him up. David Flood inspired the heck out of me last year.
David Flood.
David Flood. I called him last week, actually. He was just on farm in Colombia having fun.
What about his routine or himself?
I think I like that he had a very strong message. He had a very strong conviction on where the coffee industry should go. He didn't just decide the easiest option in competition was just to call someone you know who knows someone who has a Panama coffee and showcase that and let the coffee do the talking, and then you fill in, you make up your story about why that coffee is important to you. But he had a heart moment, right? He saw what it did social impact of this coffee, and not only that, it translated to the quality. And that's something I want to bring into my competition this year. So there is a farmer that I want to work with for my competition coffee this year, and he went straight out. My coffee is not competition level, but if you blend it, you can still share my story. And it was a farm that I went to in Colombia last year that I almost felt like I had a transcendent moment. And it really impacted me. So I want to share that story, and that's kind of the approach I'm going to go for.
What did you learn from last year, do you think? Like
the competition or the...
Well, so you didn't progress to the nationals.
No. Yeah.
What do you think was what was your biggest learning from it, and like based on the feedback that you got?
Yeah, I think a bit more focus. You actually got to really focus on your understanding of brewing. I think for me it was like, because it was my first time ever, I did not know the little tricks of the trade on how to play the game. Because one of the judges, who was my friend, said, treat it like a video game. There's a mission that you have to accomplish, and you just reverse engineer it. And that's kind of the way I'm going to view it this year. And I think a lot of it was like, I just wished one thing I learned was to get more feedback from different people. And actually, Hani gave me a very good advice after. He says, why don't you, what you do is you give samples to people you trust of the coffee, and then you tell them to give you the flavor notes that they taste. And then you find the common denominator, and that's your flavor notes. Because there's a high chance that the judges will taste the same.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
That was a good hack. Eh? I was like, shout out Hani.
Yeah, shout out Hani. I think like the biggest thing, Alex and I learned was, this is Alex Moore, everyone. Yep. And just to give a bit of context, David Flood used a Ugandan...
Zukukabora.
Used a Ugandan coffee and wiped the floor with everyone at the competition who were using Panama and Colombia and this and that. So he did remarkably well. But going back to the point with Alex, I think we really worked out what like the word clarity means in coffee, right? Like it's just so easy to taste. And, a pearl of wisdom for you, like just make sure that's like the number one thing, hey? Because you can, like 80% of a competition is your coffee, basically. And then 20% is, spitting your words out and, not getting disqualified, in my opinion. Getting the technicals. So it's really all about the coffee. So it's something you got to be super stringent and scrupulous on, because like it's, again, just so important. And I'm trying to get both of my boys, Alex and Dennis, doing brewers this year. So
yeah, come on.
For some reason, Alex is saying he doesn't want to do it, but
he's the second best in Australia. He should do it.
He should, exactly. Yeah. And he was very, very close to winning. So, and getting to roast, like I've never roasted before, and I roasted his coffee, and it was like interesting, like very expensive coffee that we used too. We only had 2 kilos of it. And you know what? I fucked up 1.5 kilos worth of roast for that. I completely destroyed. And then
did you save it to pre-batch it though?
Wasn't so a lot of it wasn't even worth pre-batching. It was pretty bad. But you roasted your own comp coffee?
Yes, I roasted my own. Yeah.
And what roaster did you use?
I used a Gießen.
Gießen.
Yeah. I didn't like. I'm not the most experienced roaster. I've only been roasting for like just over 3 years. And I didn't want to just add more variables to complicate myself. So I was like, I'm familiar with this machine. I'll roast it on this machine. The one thing that I wish I did was actually aging your coffee way longer. I wish I roasted it a few months before, because when you brought up the topic clarity, some of the best coffees I've had has been rested for like 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And it's by accident. Like the other day I had one of the best espresso I've had this year. And it was like a tub of coffee that I forgot I had, which was roasted in November last year. it was the highest clarity Ethiopian naturals that I had recently.
Well, naturals age slower than washed coffees do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get what you mean. Like we had like, I think it was 3 different days. Like we aged some for 3 days, 5 days, and 7 days to use for competition. And we ended up using 5 days for his coffee, the wash.
Yeah.
Just liked it. Plus we dry ice froze it.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. But you're right. I had a coffee that really, I roasted for mice some Eugenoides and blended it with some Fica Deborah Nirvana. And it tasted pretty good that weekend. But 6 weeks later, it's tasting as good as ever.
Yeah.
You know, is it 6 weeks? Was that 6 weeks ago? I think it was, 5 or 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I had it this week and it's the best it's ever tasted. And like, it brings me to the point. Do specialty coffee shops and roasters, are they taking their coffee off the shelves too quickly? Like, you know,
They're putting it on bar, do you mean? Like,
yeah. So like, you know, currently what I do is like, if anything's like 2 weeks plus, take it off and, you know, tear the bag open and use it on the bar. Yeah. But are we doing it too soon? Like, should we extend it to 3 or 4 weeks? Like, because pursuant to what we're saying, like the coffee's that it's ready to drink now, you know, and it will be for a few more weeks. Like, are we taking coffee off the shelf too soon?
I think so, but it's also that tension of like customers don't know that coffee should be aged. So they are like, it's almost like us trying to sell more retail, which we should because that's, you know, part of our revenue. But also like customers have the understanding that fresh is best. So then therefore we feel that like tension of like, oh, it won't sell now that it's older than 2 weeks on the shelf. So we got to use it. So I think we're taking off too soon. Yes. But also will it go? You know, like that's something that we're learning a lot as a roastery is like, we have a lot of customers email us like, actually sometimes we have some special lots that we have 1 roast days and we're just shipping those coffees from that roast day. So if you ordered 2 weeks later, by the time it comes to you, it's 3 weeks rested, which I think is optimal, right? You're like a lot of coffees open up after like 18 days. But customers are like, oh, it's roasted 2-3 weeks ago. Like, this sucks, but they haven't tasted it. So it's one of those tensions, right? So I don't know. What do you think? Like,
yeah, I think we are. Yeah. Like, we probably need to reset the expectations because
and we have the other way where customers are brewing fresh and they're telling us like, hey, love the coffee, but it's not tasting what the flavor notes are. Flavor notes are. And then I'm like, oh, when did you, when's the roast date? When did you brew it? Oh, 5 days after roast. I'm like, just wait 18 days or 14 days. Then they do. And their feedback was like, wow, that was way better.
Yeah. Fresh is just not always best. And like, I think that's like a dialogue I'd like to have more in specialty coffee is like 3-4 weeks for a lot of coffees is like kind of where it actually starts to taste good. Yeah. And particularly for milk roasts. Yeah. Like that's when they, you know, start to kick ass.
Yeah, come on.
Like I just think we need to again like reset the expectations there because there's a lot of, you know, particularly for customers that are their wholesale accounts, right? They're not roasting their own coffee, they're wholesale accounts. They're paying more for these retail bags of beans, then you got to take it off the shelf. And I just don't think it's for a good reason. Yeah. Like I just don't think that's a good enough reason to be doing that. Do you agree?
Yeah, we have some good wholesale customers that they either age it themselves, so they order in advance, which does a good job for their cafes, right? But also they have this like awesome workflow of like they're ordering stuff in bulk, and so they can age it. So then by the time they stock up on retail coffee, it's a different roast date, and I think that's a beautiful cycle. And if you really think about that in advance, you do a good representation of everything. And the only challenge of that is like, imagine you have a record week and you clear out everything, then you just have to reset that cycle.
Yeah. Well, there's that too, but I guess there's the cash flow thing of, you know, if you're sitting on a weak stock and never really you're not able to draw that down like on a particular week, then that's might be where the challenge race lies.
Yeah.
So, one thing I wanted to ask you about: have you seen all these fire bombings of the Melbourne bars?
No, I actually haven't. I actually like, I made a comment about it to a friend of mine the other day. I said like, oh, I heard this place is getting bad reviews. And then my friend was like, yeah, me too. Are they like, do they suck? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never been there. So that just went over my head. I didn't think much about it. And then I saw your video and I was like, what?
So we're talking about review bombing. So
Yeah.
review bombing, that's happening a lot as well.
Yeah.
And and we just found out a case, the owners of the Lumen people, Marici and M, let me know that they were being extorted for 1-star reviews. So there's someone from another country who's actually just made multiple different like email accounts, 1-starred them from all of them and said, yeah, give me $1,000 and I'll remove it or something like that. It's like crazy.
What?
It's happening to coffee shops in
Everywhere.
Australia. And then, like I've noted, there's a few that it's happened to. They're not the only one. I've seen multiple examples. So
Yeah.
pretty rough stuff. But also the fire bombings. So
Okay.
fire bombings.
That's the one where they like burn places?
Well, yeah. So there's Melbourne bars. Something to do with like the alcohol suppliers or something like that. They're some new supplier that's like got criminal links, trying to get these bars to buy alcohol from them, obviously, so they make money. And if they don't, they get firebombed.
Whoa.
So like,
I don't know.
Melbourne's wild these days.
Mate, it's getting crazier and crazier.
I do recognize that the whole world's getting crazy, but it does kind of feel like Melbourne's Gotham City some weeks now. And it's honestly we just don't punish criminals. Like it feels like if you're a criminal, you've got more rights these days. I just don't get it.
Speaking about Gotham City, there is a city that's nicknamed Gotham City,
What's
I
that?
went there.
What's that?
Medan in Indonesia.
Why is it called Gotham City?
Because after like 11 p.m., it becomes a bit lawless.
Yeah.
Like I was there. I'm half Indonesian, and my mum is from that side of the world. And when we went there, it's called like the street lights would go off after 11, and the traffic lights would turn off. So then it becomes this whole hooning, like motorbike and car racing, and this is pretty hectic. And but like they'll find dead bodies overnight every day and stuff like that. And then a lot of houses are gated or fenced off. So
they have riots.
That's Gotham City. Yeah.
They have riots pretty regularly in Jakarta as well, don't they?
Yeah.
There was a particularly big one last year, but from what I heard, that's like a semi-frequent thing.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. There's always riots everywhere, even in Parliament Station.
Yeah, true.
Not riots, protests.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is actually a funny one. I had my first run-in with racism in Indonesia. So I was racially profiled here. I was in Jakarta, went to a Chinese restaurant with my business partner and his family. We all sat down. It's like got the Lazy Susan in the middle. So it's a Chinese restaurant in Jakarta. So the waitress starts setting the table, one by one goes, and I was last. She's set, chopsticks for everyone. Gets to me, knife and fork. Knife and fork. I'm like, what the hell? I can use chopsticks. What the hell's going on here?
Oh, man.
And then his parents, so I was with my business partner, his parents saw me like reaching for the chili to pour on my pork. His dad leapt across the table to try and save me. I was like, bro, and everyone's like, what are you doing? And it was like, dude, I can handle my chili.
Yes.
So, that was a funny one. But the old knife and fork for me. What's going on?
Yeah, man.
I can use it.
Yeah.
I got game. And when I was in Bandung, so I went to Bandung. So it was probably like 2 hours outside of Bandung.
I love the way you pronounce it.
Is that correct?
Bandung.
Bandung,
Is
that correct?
That's the way.
All right. Well, I'm just
Bandung.
Bandung. Isn't the Australian accent awful?
Yeah.
Like the worst part about going to Bali is all the Australians there. Can't stand it. It's like not my idea of a holiday. But anyway, so I was in Bandung, and when we were driving down the road, I saw a wild monkey. And I've never seen one of those before. First time ever seeing a wild monkey. I was like, sick. So I poked my head out and I was like, shit, that's a wild monkey. And then there's this school bus full of children there. and they saw my head and they were like, oh. I think I must have been the only white guy they've ever seen because it's just such a remote part of Indonesia where the coffee was grown. Like they just don't see it.
Yeah.
So that was
Do you want to know what they call white guys in Indonesian?
Please.
Bule.
What does that mean?
Just the white guy.
So it's just like the Indonesian gringo kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a bule.
A bule.
Bule.
That's also the Swedish word for a cinnamon bun.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like a cinnamon bun with granulated sugar on top. Have you ever had a bule? Surely you've had one.
Yeah, I think I have. Yeah, probably in IKEA.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we're getting towards the end of the podcast now, and we wanted to talk a bit of UFC.
Come on.
Before the podcast is over. So this weekend we got Jack Della Maddalena versus
JDM.
Carlos Proches. How you feeling for that one?
And I'm feeling JDM will win by whatever he wants.
Yeah.
JDM will win by whatever submission Craig Jones has taught him.
Yeah.
I got to rep my boy. I'm from Perth.
Yep.
JDM. Yeah.
Carlos Proches has got that dog in him, though.
Yeah,
He's
man.
a good fighter.
Those fighting nerds are crazy.
They are. The Mauricio Ruffi in the lightweight division is really, really fun to watch. John Silver's like mentally ill. So
He barks.
he barks.
He cries at the
He rides fighters like they're surfboards. And then Kai Bahia is a good fighter as well. But I'm really excited for that one. But I think the fight of the year so far for me that I'm looking forward to is Strickland and Hamzat.
Oh, that's next week.
Yeah. So Strickland, he doesn't like us. He says male baristas are gay. And here we go.
That's him calling.
That's my dad.
That's Sean Strickland.
Listen, you guys. But anyway, I like Sean Strickland despite his
his antics.
controversial opinions and his antics. I feel like he's actually got a chance against Hamzat. But the thing about Hamzat, he's just so tenacious.
Yeah.
He'll just pull everyone to the ground. It's crazy.
Do you think there will be a face-off?
Yes, because that'll be epic cinema, but there's just going to be security everywhere.
Yeah,
Right?
because they already decided not to put them in the same hotel room where they usually put hotel fighters all in the same.
Well, that's just common sense.
Yep.
Like, that makes sense. Like, you remember when Sean Strickland was sat behind Drickus?
Yeah, and he jumped and punched him. Yeah.
So anyway, it's going to be a good fight because apparently those two have like spent a lot of time sparring against each other, and somehow now they're enemies. But it's going to be a good watch.
Let me ask you a coffee UFC question. If you could make a coffee for any UFC fighter, who would it be? Because we had a video of a former fighter that says, if you're going to Melbourne, you got to go to Project Zero Coffee.
Oh, the bad guy. Oh man, Chael Sonnen. So Chael Sonnen gave us a shout out on his Instagram, and like when it happened, I was like, is this real? I thought it was AI.
Me too. I thought it was like, and it was like random, right?
So his producer for his podcast was in Australia.
Okay.
And Alex, one of my staff who I was talking about earlier, gave him a really good time. Took the time, and then we sent them home with some coffee as well. And I think Chow tried it, and he actually made a video saying the best coffee in all of Australia is Project Zero Coffee.
And that was it.
Yeah. And it was a main feed post as well. And like Chael Sonnen, like, I just love him so much. Like, he's so crazy. But like the thing he said about Minotauro Nogueira, thinking that a bus was a horse, like, oh gosh, he's got to be the best. But look, current fighter.
Yeah, let's do current roster. Yeah.
Like, because if it's all time, it's probably Chael.
Okay. Then current.
Current. I mean, you'd have to go Volk, wouldn't you? Even though he's local and like chances are it could happen one day. Like, I would love to make Volkanovski some coffee. Like,
make content cooking with Volk.
Volk, if you're down, I'm down. Come to Melbourne. I'll make you some coffee. It's on like Donkey Kong. Like,
and make it pre-batch. So then
I'll treat you. I'll treat you, Alexander Volkanovski. I'll treat you to so much good coffee if you come down. Like, it'll be worth your while. I make good coffee, right?
Yeah,
Nick?
fantastic coffee.
Well, yeah. So Alexander Volkanovski, if you're ever in Melbourne, Australia, hit me up. Project Zero Coffee. I love you. And congratulations on all your success.
The GOAT.
Reclaiming the featherweight title and defending it again against Diego Lopez. Who's he fighting next?
Who?
Volk.
Volk.
Is it Movsar?
Well, they don't know yet. They haven't announced it.
Surely it's got to be Movsar. Like
it can be, but also with the Paramount deal, they all want entertainment, and Movsar doesn't bring that.
Yeah, but like what? There's no one else for him to fight. Like
Diego Lopez number 3.
Like, I just don't know who else it could be at that in that division if it's not. I mean, John Silver would be a good watch as well, but it's got to be Movsar.
Do you know who I would make coffee for?
Who?
Yuri Prohaska.
Yuri Prohaska.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Let's go for that.
It would be so interesting making it like seeing him have multiple coffees. His face would just be like, whoa. Like,
he'll probably drink it blindfolded while taping his mouth or something, and then try to drink it from his ear.
Magomed Ankalaev would be a good one because he actually has a coffee shop.
Oh,
so he's got a.
Those daggies love coffee, don't they? Islam Makhachev did like pour over on his Instagram.
See, I love Islam, but I mean, after the whole Volk incident, I can't. I mean, I think Volk won the first fight. Just saying, but
yeah, we all do.
Yeah, there should be a trilogy.
Yeah.
Although actually, Islam's probably just a bit too big for Volk now.
Yeah.
So
he's a blanket on people.
Do you reckon Topuria and Islam are ever fighting?
Nah, I don't reckon. I want it to happen, and I'm very hopeful, and I'm always down the Twitter rabbit hole hoping it to happen, but.
I don't think anyone ever beats Topuria, to be honest. Like I think he would beat Makhachev.
Yeah.
Like his people, because his striking is so good. He's actually got professional boxing level striking, and like the angles in which he punches, like he's incredible. And then he's actually like an elite wrestler as well. So like I just don't think anyone comes close.
One thing that people would never talk about. Did you remember the golden gloves in the UFC?
Yes.
And they removed that, right? Because it was like they structured the gloves differently, and the percentage of knockout on those gloves was like so low when they introduced it. Like they were barely getting any knockouts. So they were like, oh, it's the gloves' fault. Too much padding and all this stuff. Max Holloway, never been knocked out in his life. Ilia Topuria knocked Max Holloway out with those golden gloves.
Yeah.
So it just shows you so much of his strength.
But he's also just got so much mongrel in him. Like it's not just like the ability, like it's the mongrel, it's the vicious mentality. Like he's incredible to watch. Do you watch boxing at all?
Nah, not really.
Oh man, there's a fighter, Tank Davis.
Yeah.
Javante Davis. He's always in trouble with the law, but the way he punches, it's hard to watch sometimes. Like he's so vicious.
Puts people to sleep.
Oh, he does. His knockout percentage is unbelievable. But we're at the grind my beans segment of the podcast. So I want to know, Nic Petrie, what grinds your beans?
Okay. There was actually 2 of it was organically brought up in this podcast already. One of them is fresh is not best.
Ooh.
Yeah. We all think fresh things is best, and particularly roasted coffee. But I think aging your coffee, letting it 18 days, 12, 14, 18 days, or even longer, there's people that have experimented longer, will do so much good to the taste of your coffee. And when fresh is best only applies is the freshness of the green beans, I reckon. So that's my grind my beans. And number 2, this one's probably a little bit more on the some sweet spot. Specialty coffee folk only move a tiny bit of the coffee market.
So like they have this big voice, but they don't like actually make much of an impact in terms of like sales or what like.
Yeah, an example is like we've talked Co Ferments in this podcast. A lot of purists hate it because it's contaminating the coffee flavor, which partially true, right? But we started realizing just the everyday latte drinkers that want to make coffee in their home machine, they want that kind of stuff. And that's majority of the market. So therefore, we are selling way more and do better revenue, better sales. And that's moving more of our business forward than the specialty coffee folks. So that what grinds my.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. Like and I've experienced it a lot recently as well. It's I was saying to you before the podcast, it was interesting when I interviewed Scott Rouse. Like it felt like I'd been cancelled, but not like quite being cancelled. And it was just like another day in the office for him. He was like, yeah, this happens to me all the time. There's never been someone that just for existing and breathing that universally just annoys people in coffee for reasons I don't quite understand why. So
I wonder if he can feel the hate energy sometimes.
Well, I think I think like you've all tried so much with Scott Rao that he's just bulletproof now. He's just immune to it. Like there's nothing there's no like rhetoric that he hasn't experienced. So, and good on him as well. He's contributed so much to coffee and still does. So love you, Scott.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this like your question?
My question.
Just your question. All right.
Can I ask it?
Well, I was gonna deliver my grandma.
Okay, you do your grind.
This one could actually get me cancelled.
Okay.
What grinds my beans? Tantruming toddlers in cafes. Okay. Now let me set the backdrop here. There are certain scenarios in life where parents are with children, and as members of the public, we just got to give them a 100% immunity free pass because kids play up.
Yep.
On the plane, right? If you're on an airplane, kids have 100% immunity. It's tough if you're sitting next to them, I get it, or if you're in the row in front or behind. But, we got to let people transit to where they need to go to. And sometimes that means parents, new mums, have children, and you've got to give them a free pass, right? You got to be there. You got to be a solid member of the public, but not at cafes. That's voluntary. You don't need to be there. I'm there trying to forget about my miserable week. Right? I'm spending my hard-earned money, of which that doesn't go much further these days because of wars and inflation and whatever. I don't need some little monster ruining it for me. If like your kid's having a tantrum, get him, take him out. Like iPad baby, I don't care. Like that it grinds my veins when I'm like sitting there, I'm trying to relax. It's a sacred space. You're going there to relax. It's not like you're at a bar drinking beer and there's noise all around you. Coffee's where you want to relax and, wake up for the day. And if you got like a tantruming, misbehaving child, like get them out of there. Planes, shopping centers, public transport, doctor surgery, total immunity. Cafes, out the door.
It's your safe space.
I'm sorry. I know I'm going to be public enemy number one for that, but
the next minute you'll become the parent in the future with the tantrum.
I get like newborn mums and stuff like that. Like you got to give them space, right? You're balancing a new thing, and we want more people having babies, right? We need more babies in this world, but
yes, to keep the civilization going.
Yeah, and to be clear, I'm talking toddlers here. Like 3+. If they're squealing and shit, just out the door. Go on, get take the outside chair, and that is what grind my beans.
That was passionate.
It was. I've been sitting on that one for a little while.
Did you experience that this week?
Yeah, I experience it all the time. I was like sitting at somewhere, and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then some like family of kids, and the two kids are punching each other and shit. It's like, oh God, like this is all ruined. But anyway, that's enough of that. I'm looking forward to making a clip out of that one, see how it goes.
Yeah.
Right. We're onto the final section of the podcast,
Okay.
which is where you ask me a question. So Nick, hit me.
All right. This question I'm going to ask you is why this specific illegal substance makes the best coffee. And that is raw milk.
Raw milk. Ooh. Raw milk is phenomenal to drink. And like there's reasons why it's illegal. Like obviously there's bacteria and stuff that when you pasteurize, you get rid of it. But like like the chance of that happening, from my understanding, is quite low. And obviously it's got to be like clean environment that you get harvesting it from, and the cows are well and all that sort of stuff. But raw milk is extra fatty. It's so delicious. I can't actually publicly disclose where I got my raw milk from that you asked about, but it's just so creamy. It's sweet. It's probably got naturally more sugars from it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if pasteurization like removes any or affects them in any way, but it's just it's just so dessert-like when you make a coffee with it. There's plenty of like Australia is one of the few countries where it is illegal, I believe. I think you can get raw milk in other countries, but there's a couple of times I've got it. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Like have you tried it?
Oh yes, I have.
What do you think?
Mate, it's what people say it tastes like. Melted ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so rich. I love milk, so I can tolerate dairy. So the other night I just pumped a liter of milk just because I was thirsty. But it's like, it's something else.
Yeah. I know so many people that are like, yeah, I'm lactose intolerant. I can't have a latte, but then they'll go have like a protein shake with whey protein. It's like, what are you doing? Or they'll like the people that order like, I can't have oat milk, but I'll have the cream foam. You know? Like the cream foam's 35% fat, people. Like, what are you getting here?
The best raw milk that I've ever had in Australia, and I actually just bought it from the store, and it's not cold pressed, it's pure. And I think it's like you have to legally have it in the pet section, was in Perth. There was an organic shop that had glass bottled raw milk from Yallingup down south, the southwest. And I was like, what the heck? I just smashed that whole 1.25 liter because it was just sweet, rich, creamy, like melted ice cream. And I don't know, a hot sunny day in Perth in summer, that was delightful.
Now you're talking my language. I'm a little bit worried about that clip of the toddlers now. I'm thinking about it. Do you reckon I'll get cancelled for it? Comment if you think I'm an asshole.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Do you agree? Do you somewhat?
I don't know if I agree because I have friends who are parents and I feel for them.
Yeah, true.
So,
maybe like I do have understanding.
Yeah.
There's like.
I do have a funny tantrums told a story.
All right, go on.
Dan, my boss, he was telling us a story the other day. His daughter was throwing the most hectic tantrum. He had to tell everyone in the shopping center, this is my kid, because he didn't want to look like some guy that was like abducting a child.
Oh, she was just going that nuts.
Yeah, apparently.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Shit. There was one incident recently where someone had a supersonic scream. This child was like, "Oh Jesus!" Like it was loud. And it's just like there was another one when I was working, and someone like there was a child having a tantrum out in the street, and so the parent solution was to bring them into the cafe. I was like, "What are you doing that for?"
Yeah,
like,
baby chinos, marshmallows.
Oh yeah, just like, but it was painful. But anyway, maybe I'm just a terrible person. But like babies and stuff like that on a plane, complete immunity. Have you ever seen John Wick?
Yes.
Continental ground. There's certain areas where it's just you got to.
Can you sleep on planes with a baby crying?
I just can't sleep on planes in general.
Okay.
Like I think on the flight home from Europe, I might have got 1 hour sleep, but it was terrible. I also had an abscess on my backside, and that was terrible. That was very bad. But anyway, I can't. Can you?
Yeah. On my whole flight from Santiago, Chile to Melbourne, 15-hour flight, I slept the whole 15.
Really?
Yeah. That the flight attendant got worried, was like, are you okay? You're not eating, you're not drinking.
Were you on the window seat?
No, I was in the worst seat in history. Middle seat, very last row.
So like the person next to you climbing over you to go to the toilet?
Yeah.
Didn't wake you up?
No.
Far out. How the hell? How?
Because I didn't sleep. So that was a Friday flight. I didn't sleep from the Wednesday.
Okay. Well, that makes a bit more sense. Like you were like catatonic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I crashed.
Deep REM sleep. Yeah, nice.
And no jet lag after. I don't know how.
I might try that. That sounds
Don't
good.
sleep leading up to the flight.
Jesus. All right. Well, socials, business. Who are you?
Business, born and raised coffee _ on Instagram. Or you can go on our website, bornandraised.coffee. Personal socials, nicpetrie.coffee, where I start to cause rage bait with pre-batch espressos.
We love it. Well, it's like nearly 8 o'clock in Melbourne now, and I think you and me need to go to bed soon. I certainly do. But look, loved having you on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, best of luck for Brewers Cup, and
thank you.
I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty of each other very, very soon.
Let's go.
Hooroo, ladies and gentlemen.
Hooroo.
You can either listen to the third Oatly ad of the day about how you can go to oatly.com and find recipes for the amazing drinks, or read the Future of Taste report. It's from the future. Or learn about the sustainability work. Or you can press the 15-sec forward button on your pod playing device. It's totally up to you.